Hi guys, today is the 18th of February 2019 at 59 minutes past 4 in the afternoon over here in the UK, and on screen at the moment is various volcanoes. The ones I'm keeping my eye on this particular screen are Mount Etna and Stromboli. Now Stromboli, recently the live cam has pretty much gone offline. If you look at it, it's covered in some sort of dirt, which you'd think they'd cleaned up by now. It's been that way for a couple of days. So we've got this static images being updated, I think roughly every minute or every 5 minutes. It looks like it's erupting, has smoke coming out of the top of it. Looks like there's a gentle glow beneath that smoke, so it's in erupt status. The same as with Mount Etna, although it doesn't appear any significant amount of ashes coming out at the moment. Throughout the day there have been significant amounts of ash coming out of Mount Etna as well. So both of those volcanoes are, primed for the situations we talked about in terms of land collapse and tsunamis in that region. This is a video of Mount Etna erupting earlier. So you can see it was a lot more aggressive, and well, it could potentially be so. Obviously, the live cam's only given us a certain angle, but you can see that ash is coming out quite strong, and it has a potential to erupt even further. Plumes of smoke continue to come out of Mount Etna near Catania in Sicily on Monday. The situation has reportedly been improving, with Catania Airport authorizing 6 arrivals per hour, 2 more than the past 3 days, and unlimited departures. So it appears to be slowing down, but obviously you think these things can reverse, so keep an eye on it. In terms of the incoming tsunami from a volcanic collapse of either of those volcanoes, I have the live cam of Tropea, which pans around, shows you various different angles of this area. So if anything were to happen, be able to see it coming in. I think if nothing happens to the live cam, hopefully nothing does happen overall, but keeping eyes on it. Iran has recently presented a new submarine called the Vieja, I think it's called. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani on Sunday inaugurated a new domestically built submarine armed with cruise missiles at a time of rising tensions with its arch enemy, the United States. From this moment, the Vieja submarine joins Iran's naval force with my order, Rouhani said in a ceremony broadcast live on the state-run English language press TV. The Vieja Conqueror is what it means. Submarine weighs 600 tons, adding that it enjoys state-of-the-art weaponry, including torpedoes, naval mines, and cruise missiles that could be launched from a submerged position. US President Donald Trump pulled out of the 2015 nuclear agreement between Iran and 6 powers last May and reimposed sanctions on Tehran. He said the deal was flawed because it did not include curbs on Iran's development of ballistic missiles or its support for proxies in Syria, Yemen, Lebanon, and Iraq. Iran has developed a large domestic arms industry in the face of international pressure and embargoes that have barred it from importing many weapons. Our defense power is solely defensive. Our enemy's pressure and sanctions imposed on Iran have instigated our process, Rouhani said in the southern port of Bandar Abbas. Last year, Iran's navy launched a domestically built destroyer, which state media said has radar-evading stealth properties. Iran says it has missiles with a range of up to 2,000 kilometers, which puts Israel and US military bases in the region within reach, such as in Iraq. The European signatories of Iran's nuclear deal, despite remaining committed to the pact, have stepped up criticism of Iran's ballistic missile program. And I think this new submarine that they've launched may be this submarine that we see here, with these missiles coming out the top in response to an attack on Iran. So I don't know if it's just going to be a retaliation for the past attacks that have happened in the last couple of days. We've recently heard of the suicide bombing that killed 27 IRGC forces, that's Iran's army people basically, and they were blaming the United States and Israel, and they're also blaming Pakistan for harboring them, kind of similar to the way Osama bin Laden was being harbored in Pakistan. Obviously we have Osama bin Laden coming out on the ship earlier in this video, so I think that may be connected, Pakistan. And obviously we have the reference to Shiva with the guy in the mask dancing around later in the video, and that's a reference to India. So we clearly have the world's nuclear superpowers depicted in this video beginning to engage each other: China, Russia, India, Pakistan, the United States, Great Britain's in there. We have Israel as well. So I think that pretty much incorporates all of them. There may be a few left out, like Germany, but I'm sure they're involved in there somewhere. But back to this scene with the missiles coming out top. I think I'll pass that actually. Go back. There we go. Okay, just gonna play this for a second. So this is the attack. I don't know if this is a past one or one to come. And it appears a response comes out of the top of this, which we know is the top of a submarine coming up out of the waves. And in the background we have the volcanic eruption, and I'm guessing the waves are part of the eruption. We appear to have a pyroclastic flow down the bottom here, so that may be part of the tsunami event that starts from the volcano, and we don't know if that's purposely, erupted through some sort of missile or torpedo, maybe from one of Iran's or maybe another country's. Not exactly sure, but what looks like the submarine here, I think, is related to Iran's new submarine that they've just put into action with all these abilities to launch missiles from submerged positions and landmines, and you saw the report. So the other depiction on here is a man's face. We pointed out many times before, but the closed eye, the mouth, the nose facing upwards, and this explosion is coming out of the back of the head here, or to the side of the head. And my interpretation for that is it's Donald Trump. And obviously we're in the last days of these, really the last day of this watch, up until 11 o'clock in the morning for me on the 19th of February, which is tomorrow, and that should incorporate all the time zones up to Hawaii. So I believe that would be the end of it if nothing happens between now and then. But we have Donald Trump.
A magnitude 3.7 earthquake occurred. Tsunami, Indonesia, 21 kilometers deep, 27 minutes ago by EMSC status M.
Sorry, interrupting reports. Anyway, I think this is Donald Trump here, and if it's associated with all these other events that are going on, we currently have active volcanoes, ones we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, possibly months. Mount Etna, Stromboli most recently, both are now active. We have that potential. So if this is Donald Trump, I was looking at this scene here again, where I think that this eyebrow is depicting a man lying on his back, which I think is Donald Trump, just from the way that they've done the hair. And over here, a series of things, but one thing that seems to stand out quite clearly is the number 5. And I think that might be a time reference to when this might occur, if it's going to occur to Donald Trump or his twin, or using deep fake technology, however they accomplish it. So today he's going to be in, which is important because, again, in this video, the Donald Trump representation is laid over by the George Bush character. And George Bush, in reference to 9/11, was in Florida in a classroom when the planes hit the Twin Towers. We all know this. So the fact that Donald Trump is in Florida at the moment is significant, I think. He's going to be, I think, given a rally or something at the FIU Ocean Bank Arena. Let me just check exactly what he's doing actually around that time. So 5 o'clock. Yes. So he'll be between 4:25 and 5:20, so incorporating 5 p.m. The president will be delivering.
A magnitude 4.4 earthquake occurred. 10 kilometers east of Big Lake, Alaska, 18.8 kilometers deep, 5 minutes ago by USGS status A.
Those earthquake reports are coming in quite a lot, so apologies if it interrupts again, and sorry for the loud interruptions. I'm sure it's pretty loud when listening back. Right, so between 4:25 p.m. and 5:20, 5 o'clock is where I'm looking. Donald Trump's going to be delivering remarks to the Venezuelan American community. Now, the Venezuelan American community is made up of people with names such as Jose or Jesus, and those are the kind of names that we're seeing on the back of George Bush's head, and I think are related to the incident that happens to Donald Trump, causing him to be lying on his back like this, basically being shot in the back of the head. Let me just be upfront and direct about it. Now, as I said, he's going to be delivering that remark, Venezuelan community. He's going to be doing it at the FIU Ocean Bank Arena, and there's something coming into my mind right now with the FIU. This I'm gonna think about that and come back. But it's in the FIU Ocean Bank Arena, and because George Bush was in a classroom in Florida when the 9/11 events took place, I feel it's important to mention that he's going to be in an area that is surrounded by children, education, all of that kind of stuff. Children's Creative Learning Center, a university, campus. Even when we get to who he's addressing, the children, they're not Venezuelan children as far as we can tell. But in this video, he's obviously
A
addressing
magnitude 2.53 earthquake occurred. Bay of Plenty, 133.44 kilometers deep, 2 minutes ago by GeoNet status A.
See what I mean? The earth is literally shaking right now, so keep an eye on everything that's going on. Where was I going with this? Yes, back to who he's addressing. There's clearly a reference to like animals and plants, and basically it's like a garden in the background. I've often thought this is like the Rose Garden, so Donald Trump addressing like the reporters or some other group in the Rose Garden. The rose, the garden, it all seems to make sense. But there's also, in this place is going to be today, a organic center.
A magnitude 3.6 earthquake occurred. Sulawesi, Indonesia, 10 kilometers deep, 6 minutes ago by BMKG status A.
Okay, I'm going to try and finish this before another one comes in. They've got the organic garden, they've got the nature preserve. So there's a lot of things in that whole area where he's going to be having his, speech to the Venezuelan community, where we've got, children, education, organic garden, nature preserve. It all seems to reference this area that he's in, organic garden, nature preserve, children, a classroom, university, even down to the point where we've talked about the apple representing a football. Right there, you've got the soccer stadium. So I think it's important to pay attention to around 5 o'clock today with Donald Trump. I don't know if they're going to be broadcasting it on the news. This speech is going to be given, but I'm suspicious because obviously today is the last day of the interpretation stretched out on the Julian calendar. We're still in the year of the dog on the Julian calendar, moving into the year of the pig. Right now we're in Aquarius and Pisces, so we're switching. There's a switch right now. Sirius brightest star in the sky going dark. Chi Virginis going dark. Super snow moon tonight, or moving into tomorrow. Full moon tonight. Super snow moon moving into tomorrow. Closest it's been since 1948. 2 of the volcanoes that we've been looking out for currently in active erupting status. I did get a comment from a subscriber saying that there have been 70 earthquakes around the Vieja, but I couldn't find anything on the internet about that. But I'm still keeping my eyes open just in case. There's been no reports about Kilauea, so that'll be something to still watch in case that happens. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and as I said, considering all the hit points of education, children, soccer, organic garden, full nature preserve, a speech to Venezuelan people, Jose, Jesus, and yeah, watch out today for anything happening around that time. Obviously, it's 5 o'clock over here now. That'll be 10 p.m. when it reaches 5 o'clock on the East Coast. So I'll be watching. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.